So you're going to secure the tape to the outer side of your foot.
Outer side of the foot.
Then pull with 20%. So not super taut. And then you're going to come along there, and I'm still pulling just a little bit, all the way up into the calf.
Wow.
So I've come through this is called the tarsal tunnel, so come right over that. And if you're even a little more this way, of the side of the ankle, that's fine. It might be better for ankle. For the comfort, I don't know, does that feel okay?
It feels good.
Okay. Yeah, and that'll help unload the tendon here.
It's a one piece of tape.
Yeah, so that's pretty simple.
Yeah. And still wear the brace, right?
And still wear the brace. Yeah.
Okay.
He called it muscle energy technique. And that's just the name he gave it. But it's basically using an isometric contraction to get a release in a muscle that's pulling a joint out of alignment.
Okay.
So it helps restore the alignment by getting the muscle to let go. Okay, so I want you to just very gently, with about 20% effort, just lightly press out into my hand to the right and hold that for me. So this is the same thing that you can do for flexibility, but he turned it into a treatment.
Hey! Hi! Oh my gosh, you guys, so we're still down in Pueblo. Pueblo's about 40 miles south of Colorado Springs, so it's not that far. So we drove up to Colorado Springs today to see Melinda Couch, who is our physical therapist. She's a friend of ours, but she is a physical therapist. She has her business, Peak Performance. And Melinda has kept our bodies going for many, many years now. This road's bumpy. So anyway, I have a little bit of a strain in a tendon in my foot. It's been bothering me for a few months now, so I made an appointment with Melinda to try to get that. I have 5 weeks before we start the trail, and I'm trying everything I can possibly do to get it healed up and ready. And she gave us some insights on some stuff, so we'll tell you about it at some point. This road's bouncing.
Mini session.
Yeah, so Nettie is healing her hip flexor still, doing pretty good, but Melinda worked on that a little bit too, so she works miracles, really. I think I injured this foot by stretching, like overstretching. So anyway, she's going to give us a few tips on how to stay flexible without doing stretching.
Which will be good.
Which will be interesting. So we're still out here at the Pueblo Reservoir, and look at this, just ice and snow. It's beautiful, but it's cold. Here we are, and then there's Lynn. Juliet's back in home, Colorado Springs, and so it's just Lynn and us out here now. But we're out here for another week, and it's supposed to start warming up, and boy, I hope it does. It's really cold, but Wanda's just, she's warm. She's awesome. Really well insulated, and we love her. Anyway, we're gonna go for a little hike and go up the side of the little butte over there and do our loop walk, hoping for some sun. Hi.
Hi.
So we're sitting here in Wanda.
We're sitting here in Wanda, contemplating our work day.
So we haven't done a video in a while because we've been busy and we've had people visiting and just a lot going on. So anyway, but we've had, we're still here in Pueblo. Lynn's leaving today and going to the Springs. We're here for another week.
Yep.
Anyway, we're working on Wanda. There's some things we had to do. We have to fix a couple of things that were not working well. And one is the door hinge. One of the door hinges is...
The door hinge, on an Airstream, they have like big like aircraft kind of doors, and they have two heavy-duty hinges, but the bottom hinge is
like strip.
Loose, so the screws are just free turning. There's nothing...
Yeah.
And so we have to... we actually have to drill 2 holes from the inside of the trailer.
Yeah, you can't get to it.
I find a video on this, but I did find it on the Airstream forum.
Yeah,
and the guy had some pictures, and you know, I'm feeling as confident as you can feel as you start to drill into something.
Yeah, so we have to drill a couple of holes, and then put these new bolts in, and then put the nuts on them through those little holes that we drill.
Yeah.
And so it'll hold it, hold the hinge.
So who knows? I mean, it might be how many trips to the hardware store. We don't know. We bought some stuff that we think might do it, but we're not sure. And then
our water heater has a little leak in it, so we'll have to replace that.
So we either have to replace that or take it out and get the tank
fixed,
welded.
Which we've replaced a water heater in Biggie one time, so we kind of know what that's about. So
yeah, it's a big task, but you know, manageable with time. And then
get on the roof.
Oh, and then the roof. I crawled up on the roof yesterday and checked it out, and yeah, it needs attention. So I'm gonna buy some caulking stuff today, or not, whenever. I don't know when I'm gonna do that. I might get up there and start cleaning today if we finish the door. Chances of finishing the door might be minimal. I don't know.
You have to be handy if you're in an RV, really, or you spend a lot of money on stuff. But if you could do it yourself, it's good. It's fun little projects too.
Not even just money, but time. Because when you go to schedule something, the service is so far out there.
Yeah. Anyway, you have to kind of be handy, and you have to kind of maintain the RV. So like the roof on Biggie, we just have maintained from the beginning, where you go up there. You know, there's the elements. The sun's hitting it. I mean, so you're looking for cracks and you recaulk things, and you do stuff like that. So we're gonna have to do that with this one too.
Looks like it's bad. I mean, everything needs attention up there. So, but it's not leaking, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's not a problem that way. It's just that it needs some attention.
If we catch it now before we leave it, because we're gonna store it while we're hiking, of course. So if we catch it now, then it won't be leaking, which is good.
So anyway, we'll kind of let you know how the door project goes. You know, that's lots of fun. I'd rather be hiking, but hey.
A drill. We got one of those for a drill bit, the hole saw, where it, so we're gonna put 2 holes opposite where the bolts come through the hinge, and that's your access point. We'll see how it goes.
All right, keep you updated.
Okay, bye.
So there's the door hinge. So these bolts right here are loose, and they're just kind of stripped. So we've got to replace those. And you do it by, here's the hinge, and on this side of the wall here, here's the hinge, and we have to take this off, and do the holes and line it up with the hinge, like in here. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it looks like somebody has done this before us. You could see where they have a hole there already, so we don't have to do the hole. We just have to take that stuff out.
So I'm going to get my other drill.
Studies and experiments are already underway with a group in Salida, youth in the Pikes Peak region and the San Luis.
Was the Father is an exquisite film. Was that made, to win awards? No, it was based on a play,
and part of what's been fun about the last few.
So it needs to be higher. It needs to be up here.
1A. Or you can send us an audio file with our app 1A Vox Pop, and we'll share some of your stories Monday on 1A. Now let's get back to our conversation. Steve, can you give us a little bit of background about the Academy Awards? Why do we have...
Well, we got one of them out and replaced, so now we have to do the bottom one. Hey, hey.
Hi.
We are starting day 2 of the door hinge repair. Day 2.
Day 2. Now we have a new tool because
We spent all day yesterday.
We should have just given up and gone and gotten some kind of a cutting tool because it's crazy.
It was kind of crazy, but we got the first bolt out. The nuts are like rusted on, so we used this liquid wrench stuff. Anyway, we got that one off. We thought, oh, that's not too bad. Got the other new bolt on, and that was wonderful. So then we thought, well, this one shouldn't be too bad, and we spent the whole day trying to get the second bolt off and could not do it.
It's a really, I know Airstreams are supposed to have a great design, but this particular thing was a really poor design. The bolt has a Phillips head, not even very deep. So if there's, I mean, it just, you couldn't get any purchase on that at all. I mean,
totally stripped it, where you couldn't even hold anything on there. Then you're taking that rusted nut off of there. We spent all day and finally just said, we can't, we have to stop. So we went and got it. Second trip to the hardware store, and we got a rotary tool. It's kind of like a Dremel tool or whatever to cut. We're either going to cut a crevice in the head of the screw so we can get a screwdriver, something in there to hold it while we try to get the nut off, or we're just going to saw the whole head of that thing off.
Yeah. I mean, one of those really frustrating projects. Almost all projects are really frustrating.
It was amazing.
You know, in real life, everything takes forever.
But
on YouTube, it doesn't, but in real life, it does, and you're just like, okay.
So anyway, day 2, we'll hopefully to get this thing done in an hour is my hope. All right, later.
Or less.
Or less. Hey, look. Half hour later, we figured out the tool.
We've never used one before.
We've never used this before. We had to find a YouTube channel to figure out how to put this thing on there. It's crazy. No directions.
Tool. Okay, wait. We're going to put all these things back in these little bags.
So this is a cutting tool that we're going to use to cut the head of the screw and put a crevice in there so we can put a screwdriver in there and get that thing off. So it's fun. Bam! Got that out. Look at that. So we cut the entire head of the screw off with our new tool. Yee-hee! Don't mess with the Wander Women. We don't have time for that nonsense. It's done. Woohoo!
We only have a day and a half.
A day and a half. Took us a day and a half. But hey, just now it took us 10 minutes. All right.